They've tried to nuke the world, crash the economy, weaponize weather, and even turn diamonds into death rays. But behind every ridiculous Bond plot is a villain with a backstory more twisted than their mustache. This is every James Bond villain. Explained. And trust me, the deeper you go, the stranger it gets. Our tour begins with the original Bond villain, Dr. Julius No, the man who made metal hands and nuclear sabotage fashionable in 1962. Dr. No wasn't just evil, he was very evil. Like, joined a secret criminal cartel called Spectre because both the CIA and KGB rejected him. Evil. A former member of the Chinese army, he lost both hands in a radioactive accident, then replaced them with robotic claws strong enough to crush metal, but somehow not strong enough to climb out of water when he needed to. His plan? Sabotage American rocket launches from a secret base in Jamaica using a nuclear-powered radio beam. Because, sure, why not? Dr. No established the Bond villain blueprint. A hidden lair, a weird physical trait, and a world-threatening plan with very little practical upside. You could argue he wasn't just Bond's first enemy. He was also a warning label for every villain to follow. If Dr. No wrote the villain handbook, Auric Goldfinger took it, dipped it in molten gold, and tried to kill James Bond with a laser beam. Goldfinger wasn't interested in nukes or world domination. He just really liked gold. He smuggled it, hoarded it, talked to it like it was a person. The man probably brushed his teeth with 24-karat paste. His plan? Nuke the US gold reserve at Fort Knox. Not to steal it, but to make all the existing gold radioactive and unusable, instantly increasing the value of his own stash. That's not just greed. That's inflation manipulation through terrorism. And let's not forget his henchman, Oddjob, a mute butler with a razor-brimmed hat that could decapitate statues. He also smiled while doing it, which somehow made it worse. Goldfinger gave us the classic Bond villain signature. Elaborate death traps, ridiculous overconfidence, and of course explaining his entire evil plan before trying to kill Bond. Spoiler, it didn't work. Before there was Dr. Evil, there was Ernst Stavro Blofeld, the head of Spectre, the guy with the white cat, and the reason the phrase "number one" sounds creepy. Blofeld wasn't just one villain. He was more like every villain, constantly changing faces, actors, and schemes, yet always lurking behind the chaos. He's like evil's Wi-Fi signal, invisible but always connected. He showed up across 6 Bond films, but each time he looked different. Why? Legal disputes, actor swaps, and the fact that Blofeld apparently had more plastic surgery than a Beverly Hills influencer. His greatest hits include hijacking nukes for ransom in Thunderball, creating a fake space attack to start World War III and You Only Live Twice, and impersonating a count while planning to poison the world's food supply using brainwashed women in On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Because when in doubt, always brainwash women and threaten agriculture. Blofeld's thing wasn't brute force, it was control. He preferred secret volcano lairs, world manipulation, and explaining his evil plan from a comfy chair while stroking his cat like a Bond villain bingo card. He didn't just want power, he wanted Bond to know he had it. Just when you thought it couldn't get weirder, Bond went to space. Enter Sir Hugo Drax, the billionaire industrialist from Moonraker. On paper, Drax built space shuttles. In reality, he wanted to commit global genocide and start a new master race in orbit. Because apparently, 1979 was a weird time. Drax's evil plan went like this: build a secret space station, steal back the shuttles he already gave to NASA, launch into space with a hand-picked group of genetically perfect humans, release a nerve gas to kill everyone else on Earth, repopulate the planet like some kind of evil Noah's Ark in zero gravity. And of course, he used diamonds to power his space laser, because subtlety was never in the budget. Drax was cold, calculated, and polite. Like if a Bond villain were also your dentist. But beneath that soft-spoken charm was one of the most extreme, unapologetically bonkers plots in the franchise. Also, fun fact, this is the movie where Bond fights a henchman with metal teeth named Jaws in space. Francisco Scaramanga wasn't trying to take over the world. He just wanted to be the best-paid hitman on Earth. and maybe kill James Bond to boost his Yelp reviews. Armed with a custom-built golden gun made from a pen, a lighter, and a cigarette case, Scaramanga charged a cool $1 million per kill. And just in case that wasn't unique enough, he also had, wait for it, a third nipple. He lived on a remote island with a personal funhouse of death traps, solar-powered weapons, and a tiny sidekick named Nick Nack, who was half butler, half chaos goblin. Scaramanga was like the Elon Musk of murder. Rich, eccentric, and constantly showing off. But what made him scary wasn't the gadgets. It was that he saw Bond as his equal. To him, killing 007 wasn't business. It was sport. His final showdown with Bond took place in a literal hall of mirrors because nothing says serious threat like the staging your deathmatch in a carnival exhibit. Before Elon was tweeting and Zuckerberg was cage fighting, there was Max Zorin. A blonde billionaire with the smile of a Bond villain and the energy of a malfunctioning AI chatbot. Played by Christopher Walken, yes, that Christopher Walken, Zorin was a former KGB experiment gone wrong. Literally. He was genetically engineered to be brilliant, but the side effect? Full-blown psychopath. Zorin's plan in A View to a Kill? Blow up the San Andreas fault line and flood Silicon Valley, wiping out his tech competitors so he could corner the microchip market. That's right. He tried to commit mass murder for better semiconductor dominance. He also ran a horse racing scam using microchips, had a blimp lair because of course he did, and smiled through one of the most chaotic kill sprees in Bond history, mowing down innocent workers like he was trying to unlock a GTA achievement. Zorin wasn't just dangerous, he was gleeful about it. He didn't want money or power. He wanted to win at everything. And if that meant flooding half of California, so be it. If the old Bond villains were obsessed with world domination, Raul Silva just wanted revenge. With Wi-Fi. In Skyfall, Silva is a former MI6 agent turned cyber terrorist who felt betrayed by M, Bond's boss. So instead of sending a stern email, he decided to hack global intelligence agencies, blow up MI6 headquarters, and psychologically dismantle everyone in his path. Because emotional maturity is for quitters. Silva's genius wasn't just in his code, it was in his chaos. He knew every pressure point, every flaw, and he played Bond like a fiddle. At one point, he even gets captured on purpose, just so he can break out again 15 minutes later. He basically speedran terrorism like it was a video game. And then, there's the teeth. Silva removes a prosthetic jaw to reveal the damage caused by a failed cyanide capsule. It's horrifying, but it's also a metaphor. He's broken, bitter, and won't stop until everyone else is too. Silva didn't want money. He didn't want to rule. He wanted M to look into his eyes and know she failed. And that made him one of Bond's most unsettling enemies ever. So, who was your favorite Bond villain? Let us know in the comments.